Hello and welcome to TVB News. The government has passed the redevelopment plans for Choi Hung Estate. The whole project is set to take 15 years to complete. Affected residents can choose to move to another public housing estate in Kowloon City or be given priority to buy a government-subsidized unit. Jackie Lin reports.
Built in 1962, Choi Hung Estate boasts some 17,000 tenants among its 11 residential blocks. With an upsurge in upkeep and cost, redevelopment efforts are on the way for the 6-decade-old public housing estate. Unveiling the initial plans, Secretary for Housing Winnie Ho said the redevelopment project will take 15 years to complete in 3 phases. In each phase, some 2,500 units will be affected. After redevelopment, the number of flats will be boosted from 7,400 to 9,200. Subsidies will be given to affected tenants. Residents will either move to Mei Tung Estate in Wong Tai Sin or be given the priority to purchase a government-subsidized flat on Wong Chiu Road in Kowloon Bay that's currently under construction.
Choi
Hung Estate resident Mr. Zhe said the main concern is whether they have enough money to pay for the mortgage of these flats. Ms. Tai says she's more than 70 years old and is not sure if she will live long enough to move into the new subsidized flat. Lawmaker Wilson Orr called on the government to improve the social support network with non-government organizations and even the care teams to ease the worries and sense of loss of the residents in Choi Hung Estate during the relocation process. The housing chief added the government hopes to also streamline the transport network with road widening works around Choi Hung alongside the housing redevelopment project. After the Lunar New Year holidays, authorities will start collecting opinions from Choi Hung Estate residents on the project, with discussions alongside the planning department to study the floor area ratio and design of amenities in the redeveloped neighborhood. Jackie Lin, TVB News.
Toyota Motor is recalling over 1 million vehicles worldwide over a defect that could cause airbags not to deploy, increasing the risk of injury. The recall covers a range of Toyota and Lexus vehicles with model years from 2020 to 2022. They include Toyota Avalons, Camrys, Highlanders, RAV4s, Siennas, and Corollas, plus some hybrids of those models. The Lexus models in the recall are EX and RX models. These vehicles have sensors in the front passenger seat that may have been manufactured improperly. Those sensors could potentially short circuit, causing the airbag system to not determine the occupant's correct weight and potentially not deploy in certain kinds of crashes. Honda Motors American unit is recalling about 2.5 million cars over risks of a fuel failure that can cause stalling while driving. The National Highway Traffic Safety Administration says the fault increases the chances of a crash because the fuel pump inside the tank may fail. Dealers have been ordered to replace the pump module for free. The recall includes some of Honda's most popular models, such as the Accord and Civic, as well as several other models. According to a report from NBC News, President Xi Jinping recently told U.S. President Joe Biden that Beijing plans to reunify with Taiwan. NBC says this happened during the two leaders' summit talks in California last month. The report prompted a U.S. senator to call for the Republicans and Democrats to draft sanctions on China in the event of a reunification. In Beijing, the foreign ministry hit back, saying the U.S., which officially supports the One China policy, should turn its statement of not supporting Taiwan independence into concrete actions, stop arming Taiwan, and support China's peaceful reunification. Daniel Rao tells us more.
NBC News reported that President Xi Jinping made the statement to U.S. President Joe Biden in a group meeting of China and U.S. officials during the summit. President Xi reportedly said Beijing would preferably reunify with Taiwan peacefully and not by force. According to current and one former US official briefed on the meeting, Xi told Biden that US military figures who claim Beijing wants to reunify with Taiwan between 2025 or 2027 are wrong, as the time frame has not yet been set. The report outlined that Chinese officials asked US President Joe Biden ahead of the summit to state that Washington supports Beijing's peaceful reunification with Taiwan and not the island's independence, a request the White House rejected. A Chinese official present at the meeting stated that President Xi stressed to Biden that the Taiwan question remains the most important and sensitive issue regarding the US and China's bilateral relations. US Senator Lindsey Graham commented on the report, calling it unnerving and for Republicans and Democrats to work together to deter China. He said he'll work to create a robust defense supplemental for Taiwan and draft pre-invasion sanctions from hell to impose on Beijing if they take action to seize the island. In Beijing today, a foreign ministry spokesman addressed Graham's comments. Wang Wenbin said the US should turn its statement of not supporting Taiwan independence into concrete actions, stop arming Taiwan, and support China's peaceful reunification. White House National Security Council spokesperson John Kirby commented on the report. He said President Xi Jinping has been public and clear about his desires for unification. Kirby stressed Washington still adheres to the One China policy, doesn't support independence for Taiwan, but also doesn't support a change to the status quo unilaterally. Dan Rowell, TV News.
The leader of Yemen's Houthi rebels has threatened to target American warships operating near the country. This comes after the U.S. announced the establishment of a new international coalition to protect commercial vessels sailing through the Red Sea amid ongoing Houthi attacks. Abdel Malik al-Houthi warned that his forces will target American battleships with drones and missiles if U.S. forces target Yemen. For weeks, Yemen's rebels have been attacking ships transiting the Red Sea with drones and ballistic missiles. The Iran-backed group have continually said their attacks aim to end the Israeli air and ground offensive targeting the Gaza Strip amid that country's war on Hamas. Meanwhile, U.S. Defense Secretary Lloyd Austin visited the aircraft carrier USS Gerald R. Ford in the eastern Mediterranean. Austin thanked its crew for what he said was their role in helping prevent a broader conflict in the Middle East during the Israel-Hamas war. With regard to the Red Sea Coalition, Austin said freedom of navigation was important for global commerce.
What the Houthis are doing affects commerce around the globe. You know, some 10 to 15% of global commerce flows through the Red Sea and through the Straits. So freedom of navigation is important to, again, countries around the globe. And I think we'll see increased participation going forward.
Welcome back to TVB News. Junior doctors in England have ramped up their industrial action, beginning with the first walkout of their biggest strike yet due to a long-running dispute over pay. The British Medical Association, which represents around 50,000 junior doctors, began a 3-day strike on Wednesday. A further 6-day strike is planned from January 3rd to 9th. Junior doctors had previously abandoned negotiations with the government after being offered a pay rise of between 8 and 10%. They are seeking a 35% improvement, which they say is necessary to cover the impact of inflation over a number of years. British Health Secretary Victoria Atkins said significant contingency measures had been taken to reduce disruption. Hospital bosses said the 6-day strike in January would be the longest strike in the history of Britain's National Health Service. They added the timing of the two walkouts in quick succession over the Christmas break would cause significant disruption. 5 people were arrested on suspicion of infringing the copyright on songs at party rooms. Mimo Singhai reports.
These are the 7 sets of karaoke players seized by the Customs and Excise Department. The karaoke machines are said to have stored 200,000 suspected infringing songs. A gaming machine which is alleged to have installed infringing games was also seized in a raid by customs authorities. Officials said on Thursday the operation began earlier this month. Officers raided 7 party rooms in Guntong, Tumun, Laichigao and Kwaichong and arrested 4 owners and 1 employee. The 5 people were aged between 25 and 41. Senior Inspector of the Intellectual Property Technology Crime Investigation Unit, Lerman Zhong, said the party room operators were secretive when running their business. The operators would only tell customers the exact address of the party rooms on the day of the usage of the venues, he said. The official believed the owners tried to use such a tactic to avoid inspections. Learn said the investigation is still ongoing and the number of arrests may increase. He reminded the public not to violate the copyright ordinance, possessing infringing copies of a copyright work for the purpose of trading or business without the permission of the copyright owner of that work. The maximum penalty for the offense is a fine of $50,000 per infringing copy and 4 years in prison. Memos 9, TVB.
The sister of a former activist at the now defunct Hong Kong Confederation of Trade Unions was today sentenced to 6 months in prison. Tang Lee, the sister of Elizabeth Tang, earlier pleaded guilty to conspiracy to pervert the course of justice. The defendant was taken to the West Kowloon Magistracy this morning. She was found to have removed items such as a computer and mobile phone from her sister's apartment at Mei Fu, Sun Chuan in March. That's before police officers went there to collect evidence as part of an investigation into a national security case. Magistrate Patrick Tsang said the case was serious, so imprisonment was unavoidable. The Hong Kong e-toll system will be extended to the Aberdine Tunnel starting 5 a.m. Sunday. The Transport Department said the e-toll sensors for the Wan Chai-bound tunnel are installed on the overhead gantry in the eastbound section of Wong Chuk Hang Road. Sensors will also be placed on the westbound section of Wong Chuk Hang Road. For the Aberdeen direction, sensors will be installed near the tunnel exit. Temporary traffic arrangements will be implemented in phases around Aberdeen Tunnel starting 1 a.m. Sunday to facilitate the transition from manual toll booths to the new electronic toll system. That is the news. Thanks for watching. Bye for now.